Why am I nervous to start this episode? I think I know why. Because it's been a while since I've recorded. And also, I'm in a new little area. If you can't tell, you probably can. Maybe. Am I good? Am I sneaky enough? I got the light right there and all this. Am I good? You can't tell, right? No. Hi. Welcome back to... No, it's not falling on my face. Welcome back to another episode of The Bedside Table. I am your host, Comfy Ellie, tonight. I am super comfortable right now. I just got out of a hot bath. I could only survive 10 minutes in it because it was a hot bath. But one of my best friends, she put together some Christmas presents for me. And one of my presents was a little Epsom salt bottle with like some rose petals in it. Oh my gosh. So sweet, so kind. Thank you so much, Lil. She's amazing. And it was perfect. It was perfect to top my night off. I've got a few minutes left on the face mask. I have a few minutes left on the face mask, so you don't have to endure this for too much longer. I can make facial expressions very, very soon. But welcome back. Welcome back to the bedside table with me. Oh my gosh. So these episodes that have been coming out, this is the 4th episode, and it's not even Christmas yet, but by the time you watch this, you're going to be in 2024. So this is like a blast from the past. I'm in 2023 right now, and you're watching this in the new year. How is it? How's it going? Happy New Year. It's not Christmas yet here, but Christmas has done diddly done it and gone and passed in your world right now. So happy belated holidays, merry late Christmas, and happy belated New Year. So like I recorded all of these episodes. Well, the first 4 I recorded them and just hadn't started putting them out until later. So they're coming out late, but better late than never, right? So... But I haven't even done anything for Christmas yet, and I haven't even done my New Year's plans, but that's all done for y'all. Do you feel sad? Do you feel sad? Because I haven't even done it yet. Ha! No, by the time this comes out, and by the time I upload it, I will have already enjoyed all of my... Why did I want to say extremities? That's completely wrong. Festivities. They sound very similar. Okay, so I can understand why my brain got confused. But let's take this off. Because it doesn't have to stay on for the entire... Please don't smudge my glasses. It doesn't have to stay on for the entire 8 minutes I had left. Okay. And we're just gonna toss that aside. Bing! Oh, ew. Got a little goop on my lip. Okay. So, welcome. I know this is the 3rd time I'm welcoming you, but really, seriously, welcome back. If you've been watching or listening to the podcast since I've been putting out the episodes, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I love to have y'all here, and it just means the world to me because this is a really important project for me. I say project. It's just a really important creative thing for me that I've finally created a comfortable podcast. I finally created a comfortable space in the podcast world for myself after trying and failing so many times to do this kind of thing. So the fact that we're on the 4th episode, this is farther than any of my other podcasts have gotten. And if you're still here with me, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. This is my thing. I did this earlier. It's my thing because when I'm recording and I'm posting things on my story, when I'm like, thank you so much, sending you love, like I'm recording with my phone, so I can't, or else I'm going to drop my phone. So I think it's cute. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, but different. Because this is just the bottom of the heart, right? So like that's not even the whole heart, right? This is supposed to be like the bottom of the heart. So half a heart, it's my own little version. It's my own cute little version of sending you love. So Thank you. We've got some topics today. I wrote them down, as I do. And we're going to just get right into it. Shall we? Let's do this. Let's do this. That's what the bedside table is all about. Being comfy and getting right into topics and jumping into stuff. But yeah, I do. I feel a little bit nervous, and it's also a bit later than I would have liked to record, but it's been a while since I've recorded. So I was like, before I got in the bath, I was like, do we feel like recording? Because I went shopping today. I did a lot of shopping today, and I was like, do we feel like recording? And I told myself, okay, just set it up. Set up your microphone, set up your lights, set up your laptop, set up the tripod, just get it set up. And when you come out of the bath, it's there, it's ready for you. Sit down, record an episode, go to sleep. Hello. Yes, get that shit done, girl. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. Anyway. So I want to talk about finding a balance when it comes to work and life, better known as the work-life balance. And we've all heard about this, and how we've all heard about it is make sure you're finding time for life. So yes, we all have to work because we all have to make money, but make sure you're finding time for things that you love. Make sure you find time for spending time with the people that you love. It's just about finding a balance between working and living. Because let's be honest, working is not living. Working is working. Although work can be fun. I've been enjoying work. I really have. We had our Secret Santa last week. What day is it right now? I have no idea. What day is it? Oh my gosh. I've lost track. Nope. It was literally 2 days ago that we had our Secret Santa. But we had Secret Santa at work, and it was so freaking sweet. It put me in such a good mood. 20 people signed up for Secret Santa, and I was just like, that is so generous. We had people brought food, and it was just so sweet. It was so sweet. It made my freaking day. I had so much energy after that because it was just the spirit of generosity, and oh my goodness, I can just, yeah. Anyway, that's a completely different thing, and we actually are going to get into talking about generosity. But hell, let's talk about generosity. I went into the first topic. The second topic I have written down is generosity. So let's freaking get into it. Generosity, that has been the theme of my life lately. And I guess to kind of explain this to you, I was at work, and I work at a fast food place, and I work the drive-through, and I take the money. I take the money, baby. Give me all your money. No. But I was working the drive-through, and this guy came through, and he was like, I'd like to pay for the person behind me. And I was like, how generous. I was like, thank you. That's kind of you. How generous. And it may just be because it's around the holidays. People are feeling this generous spirit. I don't care. Love it. Love to see it. Makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good to see other people being generous. And then it puts me in a generous mood. And so I had already signed up for Secret Santa at this point. But later that day, so that same day that guy paid it forward, later that day I was talking with a friend. We talked for a couple of hours, and we were talking about generosity pretty much, because he was helping me work on some creative projects, and he said, if you can help me with some things too, that'd be great. So I help you, you help me, hooray. And I was just like, you know what? Yes, generosity. You're being generous by helping me with my creative stuff, and I want to be able to help you, so I'm going to get generous and help you with what you need. And it's just spreading this spirit of generosity around. It feels so nice. It feels so good. It's such a compassionate thing to do, to just be generous and to receive, and for that to be reciprocated. It's such a kind and compassionate thing that you can do. And I'm not saying go out there and give everything away and just consistently be giving and giving. It's just when you are able to give a little here and give a little there back to whoever, your community, to a stranger, to a friend, to a loved one, to yourself, whoever it is, I mean, the spirit of generosity really just kicks your mood up a notch. At least personally for me, it does. It just felt so good. That Christmas party put me in such a good mood because everyone was so kind and we were all just enjoying ourselves. We were laughing and having a good time while we were at work. Hello? Having a good time? At work? Having fun? At work? The audacity. It was so wonderful. I absolutely loved it. My Secret Santa gift, I knew exactly who it was from. It was from one of my coworkers. He's extremely kind and he's funny and he's goofy and I love working with him. He's such a joy to work with. And I knew it was from him immediately because of a previous conversation we had had. I have the gifts and I want to go grab it for you because I have to. I know this is a podcast, so I'm going to keep going, right? But I might just put like a little break in here while I go do this. I'm going to go grab the gift that I got. I don't know where the other one is. But I know where one is at least. Where's the other one? Actually, I think I might know where the other. Anyway, I'm gonna go get the gift that I got. You got me feeling a fight. You got me feeling a fight. Like how could I not think of you? You got me feeling a fight. Okay, so I found one of them and I feel really freaking bad because I don't know where the other one is. But I know it's around here somewhere. I put it somewhere. I will find it, I promise. But look at this. Look. Hold on, let me show you. Isn't it so cute? It's Post Malone. I got a little Posty Pop. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the story behind the Posty Pop. And I also got a Post Malone CD. That's what I can't find, but I know it's somewhere around here. I know it's gotta be, literally. It's somewhere. I just don't remember where I put it because I've been in and out like crazy the past few days. But the story behind this, okay, so this was my Secret Santa gift from my coworker who's really kind and really fun to work with. He had asked me, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago, if I'd like seen my Spotify Wrapped yet. I was like, no, I haven't looked at it. And he was showing me his, and I was like, I'll look at mine and I'll tell you what my top artists are. And my top artist ended up being Harris Heller, which is a non-copyright artist on Spotify for like streams and YouTube videos. Check him out if you haven't. He's awesome. But it's Stream Beats. That was my number one because I'm sure it was because I was streaming. So he was my number one, so I don't count that one. Number 2 was Post Malone. And the reason why number 2 is Post Malone is because I had listened, I think my number 1 listened song throughout the whole year for my Spotify Wrapped was I Like You by Post Malone and Doja Cat. And it's such a good song. Oh my gosh, it just puts me in such a good mood as soon as I hear it. It's freaking fabulous. I absolutely love it. I like you. I do. But anyway, that's the story of how he knew that like I listened to Post Malone. And he was just like, oh, you like Post Malone? And I was like, yeah, I like Post Malone. I'm not like a super big fan of Post Malone, but I really enjoy his music. And so when I got the Secret Santa gift, I opened it and I immediately knew who it was from. And that somehow made me even happier because I was like, oh my goodness. So there's 2 sides to this. One is that he was thoughtful either way. But for me, I'm thinking of like, oh my gosh, he's so thoughtful. He remembered that conversation that we had. And, you know, the gift was because of that conversation that we had and he remembered it. That's so nice and so sweet. And on the flip side, it's like, that's probably the only thing he knows about me, about what I like, which is fine too. It still made my day and made me so happy. What made me even happier is that he seemed excited for me to open it. I think he wanted me to like his gift, which don't we all, whenever we get someone a gift? Don't you hate the feeling? I hate the feeling of getting a gift and the anxiety of gift giving, not knowing whether the person you're giving the gift to is going to be happy that they got the gift. Please be happy that I did this thing and got this thing for you. And I took the time to even put it in a box and make it pretty. And then I gave it to you. Please like it. Like don't we all deal with that anxiety? So I think part of it was just he wanted me to like the gift. Because throughout the day at the party, while people were opening gifts and stuff, I was having to be in a different position that day. So I had to like run back and forth. And so my boss hands me the gift and he's like, this is your gift. I was like, oh, yay. And then I had to go work and I was like, okay, I'll be back. So I set it down and then I came back and he kept saying, like, as I was having to go back and forth, he was just like, oh, you haven't opened your gift yet. He's like, everyone's opening their gifts. You haven't opened your gift yet. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go do it. He's like, oh, you don't have to do it right now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go open it. So it was just, I didn't even think about it because I don't know. It's just him. That's how I just assumed like that's him being him. So I didn't even think about it. But when I opened it, I knew. And I was like, oh my goodness. Made my freaking day. I was driving to my other job as soon as I got off work. I was driving my moped and I was singing, I like you, I do. And I was in such a good mood. I have to be careful sometimes when I'm driving on my moped and I'm singing and stuff because I'll be dancing and my moped's like this. And I'm like, okay, calm down. Calm down. But yes, the spirit of generosity. Do you see? Just this small little thing, like it's just a little Posty Pop, Funko Poppy Post. Stop. It's just a little Posty Pop and a CD, but it made my day. Just a little bit of generosity can go a long way. So you don't have to be like crazy generous. If you have the means to be crazy generous every now and then, awesome, do it. But just a little bit of generosity here and there can really make a difference for someone, for anyone. Like I said, a stranger, a loved one, a coworker, a friend. Yeah. I just thought I'd spread a little bit of the spirit of generosity because it's important. It's important, I think, that we reciprocate that. So if someone's generous to you, I would say keep that in mind and think of how you can reciprocate that. It doesn't necessarily have to be to the person who is generous to you. You don't have to reciprocate it back to them. You can, of course, but just reciprocate it in some way. So it becomes this cycle of generosity that gets spread throughout communities and cities and the world. Let's all be generous. Isn't that the goal? If everyone was generous, oh my goodness, imagine if we all just helped each other out a little bit here and there. What a difference we could make.
You got me feeling a vibe. Like how could I not think of you? You got me feeling some type of way. From the sunsets to early days, and I can't seem to keep my mind off of you.
So on the topic of work, perfect segue, talking about a work Christmas party. On the topic of work, finding a work-life balance. We've all heard this, find a work-life balance. Find a work-life balance that works for you. And I've heard this a lot, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, it's kind of funny because when we think of like work-life balance, or at least personally, when I think of work-life balance, I'm thinking, okay, 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, a traditional job. So a traditional, what you would work traditionally, basically. So like a 9 to 5. And I'm thinking work-life balance for that, 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And I know not everyone has that, but that's what comes to mind when I think of work-life balance. And so it makes it difficult sometimes to think of what work-life balance will work for you is if you have if you have the same kind of mindset that I do, that you're thinking, oh, I need to get 40 hours a week and I need to be working Monday through Friday, or at least 5 days a week, whatever they may be. I need to get this many hours a week, and then I can find my work-life balance. But what I've found, especially working how I do now, so I work a part-time job that generally about 20 hours a week. So I work a part-time job, and then I also am a pet sitter, which generally I'm doing that every single week. So I'm usually booked with a client usually every single week I have a client I'm booked with. And sorry, I'm being very repetitive today. I can pick up on it. I've had a long day, but I really wanted to record. So Be patient with me, bear with me. Thank you for sticking with me. I do have good messages to share. I just did. I had a long day, and I'm also very comfy. Like I said, I'm your host, Comfy Ellie, today. Okay? Very comfortable. And I'm getting sleepy because I took a very hot bath. And hot showers, hot baths relax me, make me sleepy, and it's already like close to my bedtime. So please bear with me. Thank you. Thank you. But finding a work-life balance that works for you isn't necessarily going to look the same as it does for somebody else. That's why it's finding what works for you. And it's interesting because I find that I work better. I'm able to find a better balance in my life when I'm working several different jobs that don't take up all of my time, but when I have variety in what I do. And I've known this for a long time about myself. I do not like monotony. I do not like doing the same thing over and over again. But where that used to get me in trouble is that I would struggle to keep jobs sometimes because I'm like, I'm going to work and I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I do the same thing over and over again at my current jobs that I have, but I'm not working the same job all the time. It's not my only place of work. It's not the only work that I'm doing. And I think that's what works for me, is that I can do the same thing over and over at my jobs. I can do that. That's fine. But I need to switch it up a little. So if I go to this job, I don't feel that I excel very well or succeed very well at just working one job, 40 to 50 hours a week. That's all that I do. And then I can pick up side jobs every now and then because, my main job is taking up the most of my time. I like having several different jobs. Particularly, I love how it's going right now. I like having a part-time job and then a couple other gigs on the side. I'm really enjoying that kind of structure for my life. And I've found that helps me cultivate a better work-life balance. Which is funny because you wouldn't think like, oh, well, you have multiple jobs and that means you feel more balanced in your work life. You have more work life, blah, blah, mushy brain, sleepy brain, comfy brain. So for me, that's what works, is being able to have a part-time job and have a couple gigs on the side. And that helps me switch it up. Doesn't make things feel so monotonous and dreary, even though I am going to the same jobs and I'm doing basically the same thing every single time I go there. I have different jobs that I go to. And it's nice. It works for me. So when thinking about a work-life balance, it's kind of reframing how you think about it. So instead of thinking, oh, well, maybe I just, I work this 9 to 5 and I work 40 hours a week and just make the best of my downtime. And that might work for you. I'm not saying that it doesn't. Like, that might be something that does work for you. Like, you may find that having more hobbies or switching it up and keeping it versatile in your hobbies and what you do outside of work is enough to make work not so dreadful. Or maybe you really enjoy your freaking job. And if you do, congratulations. You have won at life. But work can be enjoyable anyway. I've actually really been enjoying work. Obviously I'm not like having the best time, but other things in my life are going well. And so that kind of puts me in a better mood when I do go to work. So I don't feel so dreary at work anymore because other things in my life are going well. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to say on that. This is probably going to be a short episode because I am sleepy and very comfortable and relaxed. And I'm in my bed right now and I have a candle lit. And it's like I'm so freaking comfortable and I just want to crawl under my covers and go to bed. So this is probably going to be a quick episode, but I appreciate you being here anyway. And if it's a little bit jumbled up and messy for this episode, I'm sorry. I am sleepy. But I hope it still offers you a couple of good nuggets of info or insight. Yeah.
It comes and it goes, but it's never gone. How can I go on without you? Please don't let me. Please don't let me. You got me feeling a fight. You got me feeling a fight. Like how could I not think?
The last thing I'd like to talk about is something that I was thinking about actually when I was at work. I thought I had a tickle in my throat and I was about to start coughing horribly. You know those tickles you get and you can't stop coughing? You have to drink a bunch of water for it to even stop. Okay, I'm fine. It's gone. It has passed. But I was thinking about something while I was at work, and I was just thinking about how it's different for me now. Confidence and what I've learned about what it means to have confidence. Because I've struggled a lot with this throughout my life. Growing up, zilch. Barely, I mean, I'm sure I had a little bit, but I was just consumed in a lot of emotion that I didn't know what to do with. So confidence was just kind of out the dang window, and that's okay. I had stuff going on, and I can look back on that version of myself and have grace and compassion for her because she was going through a lot and she was dealing with a lot in her environment. And so confidence wasn't really at the forefront of my mind. But as I've gotten older, confidence has evolved for me, as many other things have. But I used to think of it as like, I used to think to myself, like, I want to be this confident person who can just say what she wants to say without really feeling like, even if it's not something someone else agrees with, like I still want to be able to say it. Or if I disagree with what someone says, I want to be able to speak up and say, and it's not about being disrespectful. It's just about, I guess, owning my truth. And I guess it's not that serious. Goodness. It's just like if someone says, oh yeah, I like crab. Yeah, that's what I thought of. And if I don't like crab, this makes no sense because I love crab. Okay, so if let's say you're shopping with somebody and they like pull out a shirt and they're like, oh, this is really cute. I really like this. What do you think? And you don't like the shirt, that kind of thing. Instead of being like, oh yeah, instead of just agreeing all the time and be like, oh yeah, I like it too. That's what I mean. Like I've really worked on being somebody who can be okay with disagreeing with someone, who can be okay with being like, oh yeah, not really my thing, not really my style. I don't really like that style. And like I said, it doesn't have to be disrespectful. It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, no, it's a crap shirt. And why would you like that? That's disrespectful. It doesn't have to be anything like that. I just wanted to be more confident in a lot of ways, but that's one of the ways. It's just being able to be okay with disagreeing with someone, to be okay with liking what I like, and to be okay with not liking what I don't like. Did that make sense? I hope so. But yeah, so confidence has evolved for me because I used to struggle with it just in those little ways of like, oh, I want to be this person that's able to do this. And hi, baby. Oh, thank you. It's like I want to be someone who can look in the mirror and just love what I see. I want to be someone who can just act how I would normally act and be genuine in how I act without worrying about what people think about it. And I feel like that put a lot of pressure on me because it's like I wake up and look in the mirror and sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I don't feel great about my body or my face or whatever it is. Sometimes I just don't feel great about myself. And that's okay. And also it's like there are instances where I'm just not gonna feel comfortable genuinely expressing myself, like being weird and silly and goofy in certain settings. And that's okay. Like, I feel like I put pressure on myself of like, oh, if you can't do these things, then you must not be confident enough. Like if you can't genuinely express yourself in any setting, you must not be confident enough in yourself. If you don't wake up and look in the mirror and love what you see, oh, you must not be confident enough. And it's like saying that out loud to myself, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, that's not what confidence is. Confidence. Here's how it's evolved for me, and here's what it means for me. Confidence, I wrote it down. Having just enough to try. Have just enough confidence to try. So if I say to myself, if I want to be the person who wakes up and loves what I see in the mirror every single day, it's like, hey, why don't we wake up and just try to love what we see? Let's just try. Wake up and say good morning to yourself in the mirror. Just give yourself a shot. Let's try. If it feels good that day, awesome. If it doesn't, that's okay. We will try again tomorrow. Right? If we end up agreeing with somebody on this shirt that we don't like, and they like it, but we don't want to make them feel bad, or we feel weird disagreeing with them, we struggle having our own opinion and expressing our own opinion about things. If we happen to agree with them and we didn't want to, hey, at least you tried. Try. We'll try again next time. Have just enough confidence to try. And that basically goes for anything. So like this kind of thing, if you want to create something, just have enough confidence to try. Just try it out. And it might fail, it might not. Whatever way it goes, at least you can say, hey, I tried. And I feel like that's how I've seriously built my confidence. Because now I can find myself disagreeing with people. Now I can find myself, saying what I want to say rather than just keeping it to myself because I don't want to make someone else feel uncomfortable. Or I guess that's weird how I phrase that. Basically, it's like holding your tongue on something. Like you have an opinion to share about something. Like people are sharing their opinions and you have an opinion to share, but you don't because you have a different opinion than somebody else, if that makes sense. Like that's something I have struggled with so much. And there's times and places, of course, when I don't say anything because I just don't feel that it's important for me to chime in. And that's just me being like, yeah, I don't really feel like offering my opinion on this. I don't feel like it would add any value, or I just don't feel like getting into the conversation like that. But the times where I'm like, oh, I do want to say something and then I don't. That's what I really did struggle with, that I'm becoming much more comfortable with now. I'm becoming more comfortable with disagreeing with people. I'm becoming more comfortable with my own thoughts and my own emotions and my own opinions and my own feelings and expressing them. Respectfully, of course, always respectfully and in consideration of other people. But I'm more comfortable doing that because I feel like this different approach that I've taken to having confidence and believing in myself, I feel like the approach that I've taken and how it's evolved has contributed to being able to do these things more often. So if you're struggling with something like this, if this made any sense, I feel like I'm talking nonsense right now. Like I'm just like, again, I'm really tired and stuff, but I keep bringing it up because I literally feel like I'm talking, never mind. But if you struggle with your confidence, think about how you think about confidence.
You got me feeling a vibe. You got me feeling a vibe. Like how could I not think of you?
I'm so sorry. I had to cut that because my phone ran out of storage. And you know why it ran out of storage? Because I have all my podcast episodes on it. They're like 5 to 6 gigs. It's not just my podcast episodes, it's other stuff too, but I'm so sorry. I will try to be more aware of that in the future, but I make mistakes. I'm a human being. Sorry. But we're going to jump right back into it. I'm going to we're going to jump right back into it. But confidence. So if you're thinking that you have to be this authentic person all the time, and if you're not, that you're just not confident enough, that's just not right. It's just not correct. It's incorrect. So try and shift your mindset around confidence if you're struggling with this. And I mean, take my advice. If you want, you don't have to. Just try. If you want to be more confident, figure out what it is you want to be more confident about. Try and get like personal with yourself. Like seriously, try to get specific. So if you're like, oh, I just want to be more confident, it's like, well, in what? How? In what ways? So for example, as I was explaining earlier, I want to be more confident in expressing my own opinions when I'm talking with other people and they're expressing their opinions. I want to be more confident in saying how I feel, in talking about what I think. I want to be more confident in that. Or I want to be more confident about the way that I look and my body. And it's like, if you get specific with yourself, then you can say, okay, well, how can I do that? Well, I can try and speak up when I feel like sharing my opinion. And again, if you fail and you don't end up speaking up, or you say to yourself like, well, I can try and look in the mirror and compliment my body, or I can say good morning to myself and just be good to myself first thing in the morning when I see myself in the mirror for the first time when I wake up. Try. And if it doesn't work, hooray. You've begun the process. It's not going to work when you first start. At least personally for me. And I feel like maybe it rings true for other people too. It's just not going to work because you've literally been treating yourself such the opposite way for so long. It's like when you start wanting to treat yourself in a different way, don't be discouraged when it just doesn't click the first few times, the first 10, 20 times. It's a process and it's okay. And I'm proud of you if you're going through this process. And if you haven't started yet, I encourage you to start. I encourage you just to start trying. Just start trying with confidence. And I promise those little steps that you take, don't be discouraged. If you get discouraged, it's okay too. It's all going to happen. But as long as you just start and you just keep trying. If it fails, that's okay. Keep trying. That's all. Have enough confidence to try. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need all this confidence in the whole freaking world to be like, okay, now I feel good. Now I'm confident in myself. Nope. You don't need all that. It's like, oh, I have to do this and I have to be this all the time and it has to be. Nope. Pause. Try. Just try. That's it. Just have enough confidence to try. You're good to go. And you're good to go. You're starting the process. You're on the journey. My throat hurts. But for real, I hope that made some sense. It's what helped me. And I hope maybe if you give it a try, I'm so dorky. If you give it a try, I think it might help you too. And let me know what you've been doing for your confidence journey, because I'd love to hear it. It's my favorite thing in the world to hear other people's perspectives. My favorite thing in the world. I'm not lying. I'm not joking with you. My absolute favorite thing in the world is to hear people talk about their experiences from their perspective, because let me tell you this, no one else is going to know how to say it and how to tell it like someone who's lived it. And no one else is going to have lived it exactly how they did. So when someone starts telling you a story about their life or an experience, they start sharing their soul with you. Oh my gosh, please think twice. Please think twice. It's like I'm threatening you. Please listen and please really think about, oh my gosh, this person is sharing such a precious thing with me. Like this is just how I think about it. Okay, I know it might be a little woo-woo for some other people, but it's so beautiful to me when I get to see just a glimpse of someone's soul. Because I know it might sound funny when I say it like that, but it's how it feels when someone's coming to me with like an experience of that they've had, and they're sharing their feelings on it and their thoughts on it. Like this person is sharing themselves with me, and I'm just like, I love it. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. So now that I've gotten all sappy and a little bit crazy on you, feel free to share your experiences with me with confidence. No. But no, I really would love to hear your guys' perspective on how you're dealing with it, your struggles with confidence, and how you're getting through them or how you're not getting through them. And maybe in the spirit of generosity, we can help one another. We can help one another. Oh my gosh. And we'll just spread it around the whole world. We'll spread it like a disease, but it's a good disease. It's going to heal us, not hurt us. We're going to help everyone. That's the goal, right? Just spread some kindness, compassion, consideration, some generosity, some love. Eventually, if we get enough people to do this, to spread all that, we'll cover the entire world with love. I need to go to bed. Thank you so much for being here with me for episode 4 of the bedside table. And I'm exhausted and I'm super comfortable and I'm so ready for bed, and that's it from me. I will see you next week, and thank you again so much, really. It means a ton. Thank you for supporting me and for being here and listening to my gibberish, especially when my mind is melting because I'm tired. Okay. Good night, and I will see you next time. Bye.